Are you confused by all the health advice out there? I know I am. One day it's keto, then it's vegan, then plant-based. No, wait. Carnivore is the answer. Lift heavy, go for a walk, Pilates, hike a mountain, train like a Navy SEAL. I mean, it's like you're supposed to biohack, hormone panels, cold plunge, add salt, cut caffeine, track your sleep, eat more protein, or was it less? Oh my God. Anybody else out there feel like you got wellness whiplash? There are 3 health habits that move the needle more than anything else. That's what all 53 health, happiness, and medical experts agree on. 3. What are those 3 habits? Sleep? Nope. Drink more water? Nope. Diet? Nope. You got to buy some supplements or some fancy equipment? Nope. This episode is the health reset. No fluff, gimmicks, no shame. Just a clear science-backed cheat sheet because this doesn't have to be complicated. You're about to hear the most compelling moments from 4 of those experts who summarize the 3 habits that everybody agrees on. The number one thing you have to do for better health, for longevity, for happiness, it's... Hey, it's your friend Mel, and welcome to the Mel Robbins Podcast. I am so excited that you're here with me right now. I am fired up for what we're going to talk about today because you know I love making things simple, and we're going to simplify health and wellness today with some world-renowned experts. And I also want to tell you, if you're a new listener, I just wanted to take a moment and welcome you personally to the Mel Robbins Podcast family. I'm so glad you're here, and because you made the time to listen to this particular episode, here's what I already know about you, even though we may not have met in person yet. I know you're the kind of person who truly values your time because you've made the time to listen to something that could help you be healthier. I want you to have the cliff notes because the health information out there, it is so complicated. You know, you think, I really want to feel better, but where do I even start? The one thing that I hear again and again and again from you and from your fellow listeners of this podcast is, okay, all of this is incredible and I feel a lot smarter, but I only have 24 hours in a day and I only have 20 minutes to truly prioritize for myself. What do I focus on, Mel? And that's why I did the hard work for you. I went back with my team and read through 53 podcast episode transcripts. 53. That means 53 conversations that I've had with world-leading doctors, pioneering scientists, and researchers. I pored over their research, their tools, their advice. And after digging through all of this, something became very clear. Living a healthier life isn't complicated. There are 3 simple habits that make the biggest difference. 3 small, science-backed steps that are going to improve your health, boost your energy, and change how you feel. And I'm talking like immediately. And you're about to hear the most compelling moments from 4 of those experts who summarize the 3 habits that everybody agrees on. Just take a minute. If you had to guess, what are those 3 habits? Like if you had to bottom line it, I was going to put you right on the spot right now. You're on the Mel Robbins Podcast. What are those 3 habits? Sleep? Nope. Drink more water? Nope. Diet? Nope. You got to buy some supplements or some fancy equipment? Nope. In fact, I'm going to come right out and predict that 2 of the habits aren't even on your radar. And while 2 of them are going to be a surprise, 1 of them probably isn't. And that's the one we're going to start with. It's exercise. Now, don't turn this off. I know you've heard everybody talk about how you got to move your body. But when you hear the first 2 experts that I'm going to bring on in just a few seconds, they're going to make a case for why exercise is like numero uno. This is the most important thing you can do. When you hear how they talk about it, you're going to be like, I'm in. Then the second expert that I'm going to bring on to talk about this is going to tell you the simplest way to do this. And it's not that hard and you don't have to buy anything and you're going to just love this. Because today on the Mel Robbins Podcast, we're making health easy. We're bottom lining it for you, okay? So you ready for this? Because we got 3 habits. We got 4 experts. The first habit's exercise. This comes up again and again and again and again. And so even though I hate to have to exercise, I know I got to move my body and so do you. In fact, 18 medical experts that have appeared on this podcast has said the number one thing you have to do for better health, for longevity, for happiness, it's exercise. That's the number 1 habit. And let me be clear about something. I'm not talking about losing weight. This isn't about pushing some kind of workout or chasing the perfect body. We're going to talk about how exercise is the single best habit that will help you be healthy, that will help you feel great as you age, that will help you have a longer life. It's going to help you effectively beat disease. Exercise is how you create the energy so you can show up for yourself in your life. Exercise helps you become more focused at work. Exercise is going to help you be more connected with yourself and others. Every expert, I'm talking every single one, even the psychologists say the same thing. Exercise, it's not optional. You're designed to move. And I think you know this. Sometimes you have to hear it, and you have to hear it from somebody who is so well respected and just has a way of talking about it. And you also need to be told, you don't have to spend 60 minutes doing this. I can't wait till you hear the prescription of what to actually do to get the benefits of exercise immediately. Because the fact is, the most reliable, most effective thing that you can do to boost your mood, protect your heart, sharpen your brain, and add quality years to your life. Can I get an amen? This is the baseline. You want to feel better? You got to start here. Move your body. Because every world-class medical expert and researcher that I talk to says the same thing, including the single most respected scientist in the entire world. I'm talking about none other than Dr. Eric Topol. Check out the credentials on Dr. Topol. Dr. Topol is in the top 10 most cited medical experts alive today. His work has over 365,000 scientific citations. Let that sink in. 365,000. Dr. Topol is a pioneering cardiologist, a longevity expert. He's the founder of Scripps Research and a leader in genomics, AI, and precision medicine. His latest New York Times bestseller is called Super Agers. That book and his research in the book, research he's about to share with you, has been endorsed by 5 Nobel Prize winners. Your friend Mel Robbins, I'm not kidding around. I pulled in the heavies today, even though we're going to make this simple. And based on 30 plus years of research, Dr. Topol can boil down health to this. Exercise is the one thing that helps it all. And, I'm about to bring Dr. Eric Topol on, and I really want to set up what you're about to hear. Because world-renowned Dr. Eric Topol has crunched all the data and research on this, and even he is startled by the findings. He's about to explain to you that exercise is the single habit that can reverse your biological age. Take a listen.
Turns out that exercise is the only thing we know that lowers our biological age. Okay, so the gap between your real age and your biological age is widened. There's nothing that we can talk about that exceeds exercise for decreasing our aging process, our body-wide aging process. And again, we wouldn't have known about this if there hadn't been all this science of aging.
So let's just say, Dr. Topol, that I'm sitting in your office and I've brought along my husband, and he has not been taking good care of himself. And I have a feeling that you are often finding yourself being both a marriage therapist and a medical doctor with your patients. And I also have a feeling that there are a large number of people around the world who are going to not only be excited about what you're sharing for themselves, but they're going to share this with somebody that they care about. And so what would you prescribe as one of the most respected and cited researchers and medical doctors in the world in the science of aging? What is your prescription for the minimum amount that we should be doing every week? What would you say?
As long as you are getting at least 30 minutes of constant motion, getting your heart rate up, taking your body out on the highway, if you will. At least 30 minutes 5 times a week. Ideally every day if you can do that. But if you're getting 5 days a week, typically when I talk to my patients, I'll say, all right, when are we going to do this? What time of day works for you? You're not a morning person. You're not going to how are we going to do this? Are you going to go to the gym? Do you have some equipment at home? Or, can you go outside and walk or whatever? To fit that in, figure that out. And not just the aerobic side, but then, things like bands to increase resistance. They're very inexpensive and they can be so much of a plus for promoting muscle strength. And things like, standing on one leg for a minute, alternating your course on each foot. And you'll notice quickly as you do this for weeks that, wow, I am more fit than I've been in a long time. I have better posture. I have, better balance.
My golf swing is better.
Everything.
Everything.
And so we just can't do enough of this. And of course, the byproduct of this is we get that lesser biologic age, which is going to be helpful across the board for the major age-related diseases, cancer, cardiovascular, and neurodegenerative, like dementia, Alzheimer's. Those 3 diseases take more than 20 years to take hold. So if we plan enough in advance, we can prevent those diseases from ever occurring, and particularly those people who are at high risk. So it's an exciting opportunity that we're only realizing now, that we have ways to prevent age-related diseases.
I mean, let's be honest. When he really, in his most respected scientist sort of way, just lays it all out there, it's kind of unbelievable, right? Because it's right under your nose. I've already said this, but Dr. Topol is legit one of the most respected medical researchers alive on the planet. And he's telling you and I that we got to exercise, because it just stimulates all of this natural amazingness that is in your body that helps you live longer, feel better, fight disease, have more energy. And it's not just him. Some of the most trusted, popular, and acclaimed medical experts that we have had on this show, that range from all kinds of disciplines, like Dr. Stacy Sims from Stanford, who studies physiology and the science of exercise as it relates to women. Dr. Wendy Suzuki, who's at NYU, and she is a neuroscientist that teaches about and studies the brain. Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, who's UK's #1 doc. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, who has a PhD and studies the physiology of muscle structure, which is the largest organ in your body. Dr. Mark Hyman, who's a renowned holistic health expert. OB-GYN, Dr. Jessica Shepard, and menopause expert, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, have also said the same thing too. #1 intervention, exercise. And here's what I really want to underscore for you. It doesn't have to be hard. Like, he didn't say you got to run a marathon. He didn't say you have to sign up for a gym membership or buy fancy leggings or jump into some trendy program. He didn't say you have to get a weighted vest or do some weird warm-up routine. You can just walk. Just get moving. That's it. According to a recent Harvard Health study, the average person spends 10.4 hours a day sitting. That doesn't even include the 8 hours that hopefully you're laying on it because you're sleeping. And look, I get it. I'm not placing blame on you. This is one of those conversations where I'm kind of talking to myself here, and I'm talking to you while I'm talking to myself. But I sit when I work unless I'm on tour. I do have that problem too. I'm sitting too much. Well, here's what it tells me. If you have the chance to move, even if it's 15 minutes between meetings, even if it's getting up and taking a walk during your lunch break, move. Because it's not only going to give you more energy, it's going to make you feel better. It's going to improve your overall health. And according to what Dr. Topol shares, it reverses your biological age. Did you get that? I love that. Simply exercising reverses my biological age? What he's actually talking about is slowing down the aging process in your cells. I'll have some of that because that's kind of cool. I love that I can do that by moving my body rather than putting some substance in it to try to do that. And I love how Dr. Topol said, did you catch it when he said, you'll never be disappointed when you choose to exercise? It's so true. I say this to myself all the time. I never regret moving my body. You're never going to regret moving your body. It's so true. Why do we hate exercising so much? If the second that we're done with the walk, we're like, I'm so glad we went on that walk. The second that you decide to put on that streaming class, you're so happy when it's over. The second that you dance at the wedding, you're like, why don't I dance more often? I feel better after. It's like you have this little spark of pride. Like, yeah, I did that. That spark, it adds up and it pushes you forward. It reminds you of what you're supposed to feel like, right? That's why I feel so